I'd say is a nut job.
Okay, if you watched the last video, you know exactly what this is. You was along with us for the epic road trip we made to go pick this thing up and save it from being crushed. I have not come up with the name for the project yet, but we'll get to that part. Today, let's clean it up, dig in, and see what we're working with. I want to pressure wash it and see how much of this original paint comes back out, how much of this kind of washes off, really. So we're going to pressure wash it, we're going to clean it up and see what kind of original paint we're dealing with. We'll dig around and look at some spots on it. This video, I'm going to go ahead and tell you up front, this video here will probably be the last video you see on this car for a couple of weeks. I've got to get some other projects done. This was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I've got to get some other stuff wrapped up and done, and then we'll come back to this. But just as I said in the last one, the ultimate goal is we are driving this back to Tennessee. You know, you got to have goals, right? So I am going to fire up the pressure washer, wet it down real good, and then go through here and we'll do a little hand scrub and see how much of this original paint we can get to pop back out. I'm kind of excited to see how this works out. Let's dig into it. And if you have not watched the last video, 1962 BelAir Wagon. I think this thing is stinking cool, and I want to see how much of this original paint we can save. All right, let's get the hand rubbing on it a little bit and see if we can take a little of the surface rust stuff off without actually taking any of the paint off. Now, I don't know if this will work. Do I look like a professional auto body man? But I've seen people try it before with somewhat mixed success. At the end of the day, we're not trying to do a paint restoration on this thing, so it doesn't matter if it's a little off. Let's see what we can do here. Yes, I know there's a dent in the door. Don't worry about it. I have plans, people. I have plans. See how much of the crusty comes off back here. I don't know how much paint's actually left under the surface rust. That's the big deal. There may not be nothing to pull out. I think it's cleaning up. I think it's cleaning up. I'll be honest with you. I picked it up. I thought it was turquoise. It actually is not turquoise. Actually a really nice blue color. This car has the potential to be smoking hot. I mean, you seen that just a quick rub on this paint. Holy cow, let's look at this. Look at the way this paint come out. Holy cow. This thing is, oh. You know, I'm trying not to fall in love with this thing. I have a plan, and I'm trying not to fall in love with it. But look how the paint has come back to life on this thing. The sunlight's hitting it and kind of glaring on it, but let's get up close to it. Paint has really come out on this thing. Yeah, there's a little whiskey dent in the door right there. I honestly think I can pop that out. Little ding right here. Probably won't even worry about it. And the bottom of that quarter right there has a little rust in it. Look at this bumper. This bumper's perfect. And the chrome is still good on it. And by the way, this entire tailgate looked like this, and just hitting the corner with the pressure washer, the blue started coming back out here. So I got high hopes for what this tailgate will come out to be as well. This thing is really, really cleaning up nice. I'm actually kind of shocked at how nice this thing is cleaning up. Perfectly honest here, I thought this was going to be the bad side. But it's looking like more of the paint's going to come out on this side than it did the other side. Well, I'm more impressed with this car now than when I first seen it. And that's saying a lot, because I was pretty impressed with it right off the bat. Anybody knows me knows I'm not a patina guy. I'm a paint guy. I don't really like patina. But there's something to be said about a good patina. And this definitely kind of checks that box of a pretty good patina. Let me spray this off. Wow. Compare that to that door right up there that I haven't even touched yet. I did spray water on this door, but I hadn't rubbed it yet. That door up there, I haven't even touched it. Man, I'm telling you. Wow, I'm thoroughly impressed. Let me move the camera up here. I want you to get this door right here, and don't worry about that fender. I got ideas and I got plans, so don't worry about that fender. Let me get you set up right here. Let's work on this door here. You can see the comparison of the two, and let's see what we can do. Well, that's what a little water done. Let's see what a little rubbing will do. Got a little dent right here. Let's see if this blue pops. I don't know what color blue this is. Any of you Chevrolet guys that follow the channel that may know this stuff, if you know what this blue is called, reach out and let me know. Be interested in knowing that. Look at that. Look at that. It makes me want to try to save that fender, even though it's horrible. It makes me kind of want to save it. All right, guys, give me a couple minutes to reset. I've got the original hood for the car. I want to pull it out and see if it cleans up as good as this. The original hood's in great shape, or at least looks to be. And if it cleans up as good as this, I'm going to do the dumbest thing that you could possibly ever do. And I'm going to try to remove this fender and lay it on a block of wood and beat on it till I get it somewhat resembling a fender again, and try to put it back on there, just because that's more of that original color. If it gets even close to flat again, which it probably won't. But I'm going to let the hood dictate that decision. Look how this thing has cleaned up. Is that thing not gorgeous? Man, it's a shame to think somebody didn't want this car and didn't love this car anymore. But we're going to change all that. We're going to change all that real quick. I think there's just enough original paint on that hood to make that hood worth saving. My opinion alone, but I think there's just enough paint on that hood to make it worth saving. Yeah. This car cleaned up super nice. Really did. Really did clean up nice. Thoroughly impressed with this car thus far. I think I'm going to see if there's some way I can get that other fender off over there. Maybe if I can get that other fender off over there, take this front valence or this core support off, take that fender off, and clean up the front end of the car. I think it'll look nicer just sitting here till we can get to it. The car's cleaning up just amazingly. It looks much better without that crinkled fender on it and the hood laid back on it. Like I said, some of the color came out of the hood, but it matches the roof real well. Let me step up here on the trailer. The hood matches the roof pretty well. Some of the blues did come back out on the hood. Took that other crinkled fender off of it, laid it aside, but here's a cleaned up 62 BelAir wagon. I'm not a Chevrolet guy. You guys will have to educate me. When I think BelAir, I'm thinking Tri-5 Chevys, the BelAir. In my mind, that's the higher end of them. But you tell me, was the BelAir the high end, the low end? Was the Impala the high end or low end? Again, looks better without that fender on it right now. What was this, the base model? I don't know. You guys tell me. I don't know. What I can tell you is this car had factory AC, because the AC condenser is still on the core support up there, and all the lines and all are still under there. The compressor's been robbed off of it. The engine's still actually in here, but you can see the still there. So yeah, you guys tell me what the deal with this is. I'm not a Chevrolet guy, but I am definitely a wagon guy. Also, would the Impala car fenders be the same thing? I don't know. You tell me. I think they are. They look the same, but there may be some difference that I don't know. You guys tell me. Well, there you go, guys. That's a cleanup and kind of a first walk around look, real look at our 62 BelAir wagon. I'm admittedly not a over the top knowledgeable guy with Chevrolets. I know just enough to get me by, enough to be dangerous, as they say. So anybody that wants to do a little, put in the comments down there and educate me a little bit on the BelAir trim level. Was that the high trim level, the low trim level? Was the Impala the higher? I don't know. Also, if anyone has any literature out there on these cars, some old brochure or anything, if you don't mind maybe making me a copy of it and mailing it to me, I would like to know what some of the options were that were available on this. This one obviously had AC from the factory, but I'd like to, just curiosity. You can send that to me, Bobby Frizzell, P.O. Box 511, Star, South Carolina 29684. But there's a few parts that I'd like to track down. Now, There's some things that I don't care about, but there's a couple things I'd like to track down. One is I've ran across a bunch of fenders. I can buy fenders just absolutely ridiculously cheap. Uh, Assuming Impala fenders are the same, and I think they are. They look the same, but this piece of trim right here is not on any of them. So if anybody has a line on the piece of trim for the front two fenders, I'd be interested in that. At least the driver's side, I may be able to pull the one off the passenger side and kind of straighten it enough for this project. Tail lights. If anybody has a set of junky old tail lights, I don't need no NOS perfect tail lights, just some old junky tail lights to put in the back of it. I could use those. What are the plans with this thing? Well, as I mentioned before, this was kind of a spur of the moment thing. I got inspired by Pole Barn Garage's Holy Goat, and I want to make this thing run and drive it right back to Tennessee. I think that would be a great road trip. I think it would be awesome. Naturally, we're going to have to go through the brakes, go through the suspension, and motor and transmission, exhaust, and basic wiring. I'm not trying to restore this car. I'm trying to make this car run and drive down the road. I'm sure along the way we'll find a few little nitpick things that we'd like to have. A better grill would be nice, but at the end of the day, I don't mind doing a grill. Think General Mayhem, that wire mesh style grill. I don't mind doing something like that. Doesn't bother me a bit. Again, this is kind of a just down and dirty cheap build. These cars are still out there and you can still find deals on them. They are still in yards. They're still in barns. But ultimately our goal is to run and drive this thing. Now, here's where I'm going, and listen to the entire thing. Don't just skip out on me and skip ahead. Listen to this. This is important. When I'm done with this thing, after I make my road trip, I'm not telling you how it's going to happen yet, but somebody that's a subscriber to this channel will own this car. So if you have any interest in this project, if you like these kind of things, if you think you might want one at some point in time, like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, subscribe. But share this video with your friends if you think they might want one, so they can like, comment, subscribe. Some of the things that I would I mean, if you know anything about if you know anything about the trim levels and things, comment that down there. Let me know. We need to name it. I was thinking something like Blessed Air, but I haven't quite nailed down a good name yet. So if you have a name that you think would fit this project, feel free to put it in the comments. This is going to be something that it will not happen overnight for a few reasons. One, I've got some things back there that I got to button up. I got the engine on the run stand. We need to fire it up, break it in, and send it home. We've got my wife's wagon, which the starter is out on. I need to put a starter on it. The Cougar, I need to clean the tank out and put on there. Wagon just needs a drive shaft and a couple of radiator hoses, and it's done. I've got a Jeep back there that I've got to start putting together. So I've got a bunch of quick little projects to take care of, and I want to get some of those out of the way before I jump to this. Most likely what's going to happen is I'm going to work on some of those for a week or so, and then I'll jump in and spend a day on this one, buttoning up things and bringing it back. Then we'll spend a week or so working on other stuff, bring this back, work on it a day or so, button it up. I would like to make this something that we could have running in the fall of this year when it's a little cooler. But we'll have to see. You got to stay tuned for that. But again, if it's something that you think you might be interested in owning at some point in time in your life, subscribe. We're going to make it roadworthy. I am not going to make it a show car. Matter of fact, I'm not going to touch this patina on this. Most of you guys know, if you know me at any time at all, I'm more of a paint kid. I kind of like nice paint on cars. Well, let's be honest, I don't know about nice, but I kind of like my cars to be painted a color. I'm not going to fool with that on this one. This one's going to stay patinaed. Which brings to light, if you have any favorite patina sauce things, let me know. We'll probably do something like that with this. I don't think I want to do the boiled linseed oil thing. Yes, it works, but it leaves the car kind of greasy, and dust just attracts to it, and it's going to be outside here. So I don't think that's a good option. So comment down below with your favorite kind of patina sauce. Is it the Poppy's patina? Is it the there's another one out there, some kind of patina sauce that I've seen recently on someone's video on Budget Bills. He done some kind of patina sauce, and I can't remember the name of it. Um, but anyway, I know Vice Grip Garage has one out, but you tell me what you think is the best way to protect this. End of the day, we could just tape it all off and do a satin clear on it. I mean, I'm not above that. I mean, I don't mind doing that at all. We are. I've got plans for a motor and transmission. I'm gonna keep that kind of close to the vest at this moment. Uh, I have my reasons. Also, we're not going to dig into the inside of it in this video, just because I want to save that. The next video is probably when we'll open the doors, crack the seal on this thing, and dig around in it. I still haven't opened the doors and looked inside of it. Be a surprise to both of us. The hood cleaned up nicely. I think the hood can be saved. Yes, there's better hoods out there, but the hood, the patina and color and all on the hood matches the car, the hood for the car. So I may leave this hood on the car and just replace the two fenders. Again, as I said, there's a pair of fenders out there that are extremely cheap. I can actually buy a pair of fenders off Marketplace right now for $50. They came off of an Impala, so the ad says, but they don't have this piece of trim on them. They have the holes for this piece of trim, but the trim isn't there, so I'd have to track down that piece of trim. I don't guess I have to, but it ironically, all the trim is here except this one piece of trim right up here around this glass. So why not try to track it down? Yeah, y'all stay tuned. It's going to turn into something great. One quick thing I would ask is, if some of you have been following, you know I've been fighting some health issues in the past month or so. I got to go in for one more scan this coming Tuesday, about 7:45. Y'all drop a prayer for me around the 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning time frame Tuesday, and just ask the Lord that the scan comes back completely clear, that there's nothing there to even see. Other than that, y'all stay tuned. I think this is going to make a great project, and I think it's going to be wicked cool to see this thing going down the road again. Next video that we do of this, we'll rip out the headliner. We'll try to rip all the interior out. We'll rip the headliner out, the carpet. We'll just get everything out. We know there's some rot in the floors, no big deal, but we got to get all the interior out to address that. So we'll just rip everything out. We'll address the floor pans, and probably won't put a headliner back in it. May put some seam sealer and some sound deadener in the floors, and throw some carpet in the floors. And then we'll do something with the seats and the door panel. We'll try to come up something creative that fits the project. But again, if at any point in time you think it might interest you, please subscribe. I'm not going to give out the details today. It'll come later down the road. But when I picked this thing up, I had no intention of keeping it. I had more of an intention of giving back to some of my subscribers. So we're going to do something kind of unique, and we're going to do something that I guarantee you no one is going to see coming. There's one aspect of this build that no one is going to see coming, and I think it's going to break the internet when I do it. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, you guys have a blessed day. I hope the Lord blesses you more today than He did yesterday. God bless each and every one of you. Thank you for subscribing. Share this video, and hopefully somebody cool gets to own this cool wagon in the future. God bless y'all. We'll see you next time.
I'd say it's a nut job.